Well, there's certain things that no matter how long you do, there's certain things that don't ever change. And it's like, it's hot as heck. Um, Last second fighting with NCAA eligibility people, trying to get some stuff like that pushed through at the last second. You know, just injuries that come up, that you weren't expecting or not hoping that you wouldn't have. And this year we have a very large squad, so it's been a challenge to try to sort through it all and try to get everybody on the field and put the best people in the best spots, and that's what we've been trying to do. And like I said, it's been a little difficult just because of so many kids this year and trying to give them an opportunity to make their case to be on the team and be on the field. So like those certain things just don't change. You just got to figure out how to get through it.
You kind of mentioned a lot of guys there.
Yeah.
Anyone that's kind of rising up that looks like they could be the team leader?
Well, we have a couple. I think Daniel Burton is a transfer kid from northeastern state Oklahoma. He's done very well. Very mature young man. Very happy with his performance, leadership ability. He's probably 6'3", so make sure Coach Brown doesn't see him because he might try to steal him or something for maybe a point guard or something. But I don't know if Daniel can shoot the three, so that could be a question mark for him. We got Haji, who's a transfer from Hill Junior College. He's been fantastic. He's very, very super athletic young man, has dual citizenship from Canada and America, which has helped our case in a couple different areas. And he's one of the guys we're trying to get through the eligibility. As soon as I think we have it accomplished, they go, oh, we need this or we need that. And so, but I think we're close to getting that done. Mateo Landis is a transfer kid from Georgia State Southwest, and he's been really, really good. Kids plays up front for us. He's going to score some goals, we hope, this year. Been dangerous. Scored a really nice free kick down in Hobbs, New Mexico, which I hadn't been in 31 years, I guess it was. And if you haven't been, you can go check it out. It's improved a lot, actually. So it's not like I expected. So anyway, but and that's where Keaton's from. Keaton Hartman has been great. He's kid from New Mexico. He's been fantastic. Really great work ethic and great student. And I wish we had 30 of them sometimes. Just works his tail off and does great in the classroom. And he's going to graduate with an electrical engineering degree. And he's super. Parents are really proud of him. So those some of those kids, and then Sam Scarth, who's a senior this year. He's been kind of and Brian Martinez, and they've been kind of the more local already here, local presence, and trying to drive the team forward a little bit. So it's every time you have it changes. You have to the demographics and just the structure of the group changes every time. So they got to kind of work through that and kind of create that pecking order a little bit.
Mention that structure. I mean, what do you feel like y'all's strong point right now? How are you looking offensively, defensively?
Well, I think in goal we look solid. Defending wise, I think we look good. We got tons of midfield players. We're probably a little shallow up front in terms of numbers, and that's still the debate. I heard Coach Webb mention about the shape of the team, and we were in we're going to have an inter squad game tomorrow night, and we're tinkering with the idea of changing the shape to try to maybe figure out how we can get 2 front players or 3 front players and maybe more midfielders and maybe 1 less back to play maybe something like that in that shape. So we're gonna experiment with that tomorrow and see what happens, and could be sheer brilliance or it could be a disaster. Who knows?
You guys start on the road against St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Do you like the challenge of starting on the road?
I do, because if I kind of like going on the road the first game, because if you stink it up, nobody sees it. And it's and so if you don't play very well and stuff like that, but I think it kind of takes the pressure off the players being serious for a second, and since they may be easier to focus, especially the new guys, because with the new guys you got mom and dad and grandma, calling, wanting to try to get tickets. What time's the game? Can you do this? Can you do that? So in terms of just keeping the group focused and our ability to control the whole environment, we can do that. Where if you're at home, sometimes you can only control the environment behind us. And when they go away, you're relying on them to be very mature and disciplined. and focus on the task at hand. So, and sometimes that can be difficult. So no, I don't mind going on the road at first and get out of here, and helps with team bonding, and with the new guys on the team. It's always fun that night. That night they all have to get up and sing and stuff like that. So it breaks the ice, and it's kind of like good banter, as they say, and everything. So it kind of helps bring the group together. So I think it's positive.
What have the conversations been like with the team in terms of what the expectations are for you guys this year?
Well, the expectations here don't really change, and that's one thing we want to try to, this is going to be a pretty new team. And so, but as a coaching staff, relaying to the new players, the old players relaying to the new players, that, the expectation here is to win. And to do well in the classroom. So that message has been reiterated probably at some point every day. Whether the standards on the practice field are good enough, the standards in the preseason games are good enough, the behavior or performance in the classroom is reiterated all the time. So, our goal is to try to win as many games as we can, and get to the conference tournament and win that thing and get into the NCAA's. And it can be a little sometimes you can get so focused on your own tasks that you forget sometimes that the two other 100 schools are going through the same process, trying to figure out who's where, what. When I first got here 33 years ago, we had 21 days of preseason, and now we have 7 of actual preseason before school starts, and so you look back on 21 days of preseason, you look at some of the things you did as a young coach. You did it today, you'd probably be in jail, for some of the stuff, but it just gave you more time to filter through it, get through, experiment, play with some different combinations, different ideas and stuff like this. And yet now it's such short notice, and so in that 7 days, you're also trying to balance some, as we said outside, work to rest ratio, make sure you're getting some time off to rejuvenate, things like that. And so, because soccer's such a dynamic game and physical game, and so it's critical. And also now most of the kids are playing summer ball when they didn't way back when. So most of them come in pretty fit, and so that helps you a little bit. So that kind of changes your methodology and your game model in terms of how you're going to prepare and stuff like that. So, but the message has been pretty consistent and clear, what's expected.
You guys are preseason number 3 in the conference. Do you look at that as we got improved? Don't really pay much attention to the preseason polls?
Yes and yes. I mean, for me, it's where you end, not where you start. And my goal is to make sure that we're playing our best soccer towards the end of the year when it really, really matters. I'm not saying this game doesn't matter; it does. It's a regional game, but it'll help clarify some things for sure. But the preseason poll, that's where I put us. I think that's kind of where we are based on last year's end of results. So, but also it's good locker room fire, put up there for the players. We're getting robbed, or how dare they insult us like that, or whatever. So it's, but like I said, I not to sound boring, but I just try to focus on our team. Not worry about what other teams are doing, because there's nothing I can do about it. So to me, that's just wasting energy that I could be putting into improving our team and trying to figure out how to make us better.
You've been doing this for 33 years. What if I told you that I'm 2 weeks away from turning 32 years old?
Well, you look good. So for 32, no, I have to be. There's days right now I wake up and go, where's my life gone? Where has my adult life gone? Because I came here at 29, to start the program from scratch and everything. And luckily, we've had very supportive presidents and very supportive ADs to allow me to stay here that long. Because, if you do it somewhere long enough, you're going to have a few peaks and some valleys. And I think that's probably one of the biggest misconception of having programs that stay at a high level for a long time is consistency. And you look at the Manchester United since Ferguson stepped down, they quite haven't got it figured out. You look at the Cowboys, in a lot of ways haven't figured it out still since Landry's left. You look at Arsenal with Wenger stepping down after 20 some odd years. I mean, those are exceptions to the rule in modern sports. But I think if you have patient ownership, patient presidents, patient ADs, that they realize that sometimes there's things that happen that nobody can control. The injuries, referee's decision. John last year going on a cold streak when the 2 years before that he couldn't miss, and things like that. And so sometimes you're going to get where it just doesn't go your way. But I think that's one reason why we've been in all the programs across the country, that if you have consistency in leadership, coaches and ADs, that's why I think it's one reason why WT across the board's been really strong for a long time. I mean when I got here, it wasn't. They'd canceled the football program. Volleyball had just won their first national championship. And then you had Coach Snyder on the box that was killing everybody. Either you go in there and be 3,000 people in there and be hot as hell, and he's up by 40 and he's still full court pressing. It was crazy. And he didn't care. But you just got to have that leadership and the consistency. I think it's critical. And like I said, this is maybe our second year. We have actually a kid playing for us the second year this year that his dad played here. And Beck Adams, his dad was Trey Adams, and so I guess that's when you've gone full circle.